Good evening. How are you? I hope you're doing good, because me, myself, I'm doing swell. So, anyways, I wanted to talk about respecting the flow. Now, what flow is this that I'm talking about? Menstrual flow. The time to slow your body and slow your mind. Now, I know that some people, a lot of people, still have to go to work and still have to go to school, even when you're cramping or flowing or just not feeling your best. But I just really want to encourage you to slow down in whatever way that you can. And I promise you, your womb will thank you. I know that I used to have very, very, very intense cramps, like to the point where I would just be tossing and turning in my bed if it was nighttime, or, hurting so bad that I'd want to cry. I'd take a lot of ibuprofen and, just suffered a lot. I did a lot of suffering. And that was back when I looked at my period as a bad thing, as that time of the month where it's just like, you look down and you see it and it's a burden. But I remember one evening like that, I was in a whole lot of pain. I shut myself into a room in the dark and I turned on some sort of frequency or some type of soothing music on YouTube, and I just closed my eyes and tried to go into the pain, tried to understand the pain and respect it. And I did this for what seemed like hours. I was in that room just in pain. And that's when I decided, I need some type of coping mechanisms, something mental to help me. And in the room with me, I noticed this stone. Let me get a good look at it. Anyone who knows me knows that I collect a lot of stones and crystals and rocks and stuff like that, and I've been doing it forever, ever since I can remember. But this one, I found it in Colorado when I was hiking up a mountain a few years ago. So this particular time that I'm talking about happened 2 or 3 years ago. So I kind of had a few stones in there with me, and this one really drew me in, and I decided to make this my happy womb stone. So I eventually turned it into my happy womb necklace, and this is one of the first things that I ever wire wrapped. And I picked out some beads and beaded the necklace and attached it to the stone. And now this is what's known as my happy womb necklace. So this is something that I kind of just wear or sleep with under my pillow while I'm on my flow. Or I wear it outside of it, but this is mostly for having a happy womb. I love it. I love it so much and I cherish it dearly. So you could think about maybe creating something like that. But anyways, back to the story. I decided, this was my necklace, and well, this was gonna be my stone. I didn't make the necklace that night. But yeah, I still laid there for a while, and I was still in very serious pain. So eventually I broke down and took some ibuprofens, 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. And guess what? It did nothing. Hold on. It did nothing. Honestly, I feel like my cramps were worse afterwards. So that was the last time I took ibuprofen for period cramps. And that was years ago now, like I said. So one thing that I started to realize was that the first day or night was the most intense. And that's the time where I really need to slow down. And I'm speaking from my own personal experience. And I know everyone experiences different things because everyone's body is different, but I know that most women go through something similar. And the first day is very achy. I get very achy in my abdomen, in my womb area, and in my back gets very achy. And I get irritable. I notice that I'm very sensitive as far as my body. Like, lifting something heavy is a no-no. I can feel it in my womb. If I lift something heavy, I can feel my womb telling me, no, don't do it. And when you hear and feel things like that, listen. You'll thank yourself later, because things will start to change. The more you listen to your body, the more it will speak to you. And your body has a lot to say if you'll only listen. It's something that I've noticed over time. So, also something that I'm very sensitive to during my flow, or that my womb is sensitive to, is loud sounds. If something will fall or slam, I can feel my womb throb. Or if my daughter will scream or just get really loud, I can feel it in my womb. And it's like it's telling me that I need quiet. So I need quiet. I need rest. I need peace. I feel like the best thing that you could really do for that first day is to take a day off. I know me personally, I can kind of tell when I'm going to get my period, like the day before, like the day or two before. I can kind of just feel it, and I know other people can too. One thing that really helps is tracking your cycle. Like, what's really easy is to get a period tracker app, and track your cycle. If you have a normal cycle, I feel like, what's normal? But if you have a cycle that's pretty consistent, is a better word, then it's easy to know when your cycle is going to come, as far as tracking it with the app. So yeah, get an app to track it, and in the days before, make sure that things get done around the house, or whatever you have to do. If you need to cook a big meal so you have leftovers, so you're not stuck slaving over a hot stove on that first day of your period, do it. Do what you need to do in preparation, so that when the day comes, you can do as little as possible. And then, snuggle up on the couch or in the bed with a nice book, or, a good movie, or do some meditation. For anyone who's watched one of my previous videos called Creating a Mind Place, create a mind place. I think that could be during your flow could be a great time to create a mind place because you're open. Your womb is open, therefore I feel like you're more open to ideas. So, use that open energy to create something. Do some art. Rest. Don't do too much. Don't work out. Try to stay away from caffeine and make sure you drink enough water. Drink more water. Try to eat healthy. Eat fruits and vegetables. And just take care of yourself. Make sure you stay warm enough and just try to get the peace that you need. And I feel like there's subtle ways to kind of hint to your family and the people around you that you need peace without just blatantly, everyone shut up, I'm on my period. Just, if the kids are too loud, remind them, mommy needs quiet time. Mommy needs peace. And hopefully they'll respect you so that you can respect your flow. I feel like the menstrual flow is a very mysterious thing. And it's something that's very taboo, and I don't think it should be. But yeah, it's mysterious in a sense of, have you ever experienced being close to another woman or living with another woman and your periods will sync up? I feel like that's amazing. And I feel like it gives you a hint more that it's a time to really slow down and come together in creation. Come together and create. Come together and flow. And another thing about respecting the flow is, how do you deal with it? As far as the products that you use, are you inserting chemical-laden bleached tampons into your vagina? Are you sitting on a wet pad for hours at a time? What are you doing? I know I used to do both. I used to use tampons during the day and I would use pads at night, and I would always be afraid of leaking, and it's something that was kind of inevitable until I discovered a menstrual cup. If you haven't heard of it, look it up, because I promise you, now that I have a menstrual cup, I've been using menstrual cups for a few years now. I will not go back. I still buy pads every once in a while. Like, I'll buy a pack of pads like every few months, overnight ones, and I just use it like sometimes, like if my flow is heavier, I'll just use it for like the first night. Just to make sure I don't have any leaks or anything like that. But the menstrual cup is really, really nice. It's a flexible silicone cup that can be like folded and inserted into your vagina, and it collects the blood. And it's a life changer. So, I feel like it really encourages you to really slow down, something that's very necessary during your menstrual flow. And it helps you to slow down because you have to be careful with it. Like, it's literally a cup full of your blood. So you don't want to spill that. Yeah, I'll probably do another video on that later on, talking more in depth about it. But yeah, I just like the way that you can collect the blood. I feel like another thing is like, menstrual blood is something sacred. Like this blood is, part of what forms into a child. This blood is the only blood that flows without injury. This blood is a symbol of the cycle of life. When the egg is not fertilized, the uterine lining sheds this blood. It's a time of release, a symbol of release. Release what is not useful. Release. Hey, I got cut off because I was running low on storage space, but yeah, so I was like, release what is not useful. Release whatever it is that you don't want to take with you into this cycle. Life is all about cycles. Life is all about circles. And everything comes full circle. So, respect the flow. Listen to your body. Slow down. Go within. Take time to think, to visualize, and to realize who you are. Plan where you want to go and what you want to do. Because once ovulation comes around, it's the perfect time to create. So during the flow, plan your creation and purge yourself of anything that's weighing you down. Take the time to really reimagine your cycle and see if it changes your life for the better. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. And stay tuned for my next video. Have a good evening. Let live and let love.